want to focus on the journey. Let me take people back to this idea of like, lead comes in, we validate the account. Okay, the account is validated. Remember, I'm not validating the person. I'm not validating the lead. I'm validating the account. So what is the next thing that we're going to do? The next thing that you're going to do is this a demo request from your marketing team, or is this an MQL or a PLG, product life growth? Is this a free trial? Is this a webinar attendee, or is this a demo request? If it is a demo request, you're going to book a meeting with all of them. It doesn't matter if it's the janitor, the intern, or somebody you can't find online. If they're requesting a demo and they're the right target account, your sales team needs to talk to them. And the conversation might be different, because if they're above the power line versus below the power line, it's a different type of conversation. We're going to book a meeting with them. If it is not a demo or contact us form, that is where you're going to start looking at above the power line or below the power line again. So somebody attended a webinar. Great. You look at the account, it's the right account. Awesome. You look at the person, it's an intern. Okay. It is not worth it to call the intern at a company that somebody attended a webinar. It's just not enough signal. But if 27 people from this company attended the webinar, and it's a bunch of interns and a bunch of low-level people, even if there's nobody high, that might be starting to build some momentum for you to maybe not call them directly, but to what we call enrich around. We're going to find that, imagine that to me, Cisco joins this webinar. If it's one person, I'm not going to do anything. But if 27 guys from Cisco join this webinar, and it's a bunch of SDRs, it would be crazy for me not to say, let me go call the VP at Cisco and try to get a meeting with them. Because if other SDRs are joining the webinar, and then the VP asks them, do any of you know Tito Board? They'll be like, yeah, like we attended his webinar. It's really cool. I have a much higher chance to get that lead engaged. I'm going to share at the end of this presentation on LinkedIn, perhaps, or if people want to get in touch, I'm going to share with you a little bit of this framework. Validate the account, disqualify the ones that are not in the right account, and you can nurture them for your marketing department. They can do whatever they want. Just don't send it to SDRs. If they are the right account, it falls into a new bucket. Is this a demo request, or is it not a demo request? If it is a demo request, you book the meeting. If it is not a demo request, you're going to look at the above or below the line. You're going to do account scoring. Don't do lead scoring. Nobody in the B2B world cares about lead scoring in mid-market and enterprise. Everybody cares about account scoring. 27 individual people joining a webinar is a very high level of intent for the account. For the lead, it is just each one join a webinar. So if you're doing lead scoring, you're getting killed. If you group them all into an account, and now you've determined Cisco is the right account, and 27 people join the account, that should prop up your account scoring a lot. Now that you have account scoring, you have two options. If the lead that joined is above the power line, you're going to put them directly into a sequence. We're going to try to get them into a meeting. If the leads that joined were not above the power line, what you're going to do is going to go into the account. You're going to find them on LinkedIn. We're going to find your buyers, and you're going to reach out to those people. And you're going to write a sequence, not in regards to like, hey, you came to a webinar, but also not in regards to like, hey, we want to sell you this product. It is a hybrid. It's what we call a not you sequence, which is, hey, Andres, I saw a bunch of people from your team attended a webinar on sales development best practices and how demand generation should process leads. I'm not sure what's driving the initiative of the company, but seems to be a lot of interest. Are you guys trying to improve your sales development efforts? Are you open-minded about learning the best practices that companies like IBM and Marpipe and this and that do? We'd love to chat. And those are the things that are going to help me get the attention of the VP. The VP, before they even talk to me, they might ask their team, do you know Tito? What is this? And I'm going to get a positive opinion. And then that's the end of the flow. That's how you should be working MQLs. But there's one last piece. You decide to send the lead to the SDR. But wait a second. If you think of the data flow, there's a few different pieces here. One of the pieces is to first clean the data, because I'm going to get webinar registrants. Some of those webinar registrants, I look at their email and it's like poo@hotmail.com. I can't do anything with that lead. Moreover, I can't map it into an account. I can't do anything with poo-poo at hotmail.com. Now, your company needs to decide strategically if they're the type of company that says, I don't care who they are. They're going to be random visitors. I'm just going to nurture until someday I might be using a CDP. They're eventually going to give me their company email address and I can backtrack the scoring. There's companies like Lytics or Segment. If you're very sophisticated, you're able to do this. They're going to let me understand who they were. Even if they use the email poopoo.com, we can cookie the hell out of poopoo.com and then we're going to figure it out eventually. But you can't send poopoo at gmail.com to your SDR. So those get discarded. The next thing you do is you discard the company. Companies that aren't a fit get discarded. The next thing you do is you disqualify for title, right? Like if the janitor came, you're going to discard the janitor, though you're going to save that account to enrich around. And the final thing is sometimes you're going to have to discard leads because you can't find information. Jenny at coca-cola.com came. Okay, they're a good target account. Jenny is not on freaking LinkedIn. Or I don't find an email, I don't find a phone number. Those get discarded. So what's going to happen sometimes is like marketing, if you do it the old traditional way, they're looking at their MQLs and sending everything to sales development. If you're doing the wrong way, sales development is throwing all those leads directly into a funnel. What you should do instead is marketing gets those leads and they get cleaned up through a process. Invalid data, disqualified company, disqualified title, and no data pre-upload. Then those leads get enriched. You go on ZoomInfo, LeadIQ, Lucia, PIPL, whatever data sources you have, you make sure that each lead has the information they sent to you, but it also has another 1, 2, or 3 extra phone numbers and maybe an additional email. Maybe if they came in with their Gmail, but you knew they were from a certain company, right? Or it's somebody like Tito Board. How many Tito Boards can you find in the world? Likely 3, right? And then you kind of can deduct who it is.